Hello and welcome to News Affairs. Here we simplify complex topics related to India, its constitution, and its governance so that anyone can understand them easily. So let's begin with episode 1 of our constitution series. Why is Indian constitution more than just a mere book? For this to understand, let us first understand what is a constitution. In the simplest words, a constitution is the rule book of a country. It tells us how the government is formed, who holds power, what rights citizens enjoy, and most importantly, how that power is limited. The Indian Constitution is much more than just rules and procedures. It is a vision document born out of India's freedom struggle, shaped by its social realities and designed for its future goals. At its heart, the Constitution carries one powerful idea. Power belongs to the people, not the rulers. Let's move to segment 2 and see when and how was the Constitution made. The Indian Constitution was adopted on 26th November 1949 and came into force on 26th January 1950. That is why 26th November is celebrated as the Constitution Day, whereas 26th January is celebrated as the Republic Day. I'm sure you would want to know the reason and efforts behind drafting the Constitution book. It took almost 3 years to draft the Constitution. With 299 members of the Constituent Assembly, more than 11 sessions, and over 2,000 detailed debates. The makers did not work in isolation. They studied constitutions from across the world, parliamentary system from the United Kingdom, fundamental rights from the United States, directive principles of state policy from Ireland, and federal structure from Canada. That is why it is often said the Indian Constitution is borrowed, but borrowed wisely. Moving to segment 3, let us understand why is the Indian Constitution so long. The answer is practical, not academic. First, India is vast, both geographically and socially. Second, it has immense diversity, with various languages, cultures, religions, and traditions. Thirdly, the trauma of partition was still fresh in the minds of the lawmakers when the Constitution was being made. And fourth, a clear division of powers between the center and the states was absolutely necessary. The Constitution makers believed one simple thing: clarity is better than confusion. So instead of leaving matters vague, they wrote detailed provisions. The clarity is one major reason why India has remained stable and democratic for more than 70 years. Segment 4 has a very new question for us. Why was 26th January chosen as the Republic Day? Let us try to address this very important question. The answer lies deep in India's freedom struggle. As 26th January 1930, the Indian National Congress declared Poon Swaraj meaning complete independence. Hence, 26th January 1930 was declared as the Purna Swaraj Day. Till then, India was demanding dominion status under British rule. But when the British ignored Indian demands, leaders like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru made it clear: India will settle for nothing less than full freedom. On that historic day, the Indian national flag was hoisted. People across the country took an oath to fight for independence. 26th January became a symbol of self-rule, courage, and national resolve. But how freedom is linked with the Constitution? As India became independent on 15th August 1947. Please remember, India was free, not yet a republic. The country was still governed under the Government of India Act 1935, with the British monarch as the nominal head. So, the leaders made a conscious decision. They chose 26th January 1950 to honor the 1930 pledge of Purna Swaraj and declare India a sovereign democratic republic. That is why Independence Day marks political freedom and Republic Day marks constitutional self-rule. On this day, Indians truly became masters of their own destiny. Let us see what does Segment 5 has in store for us. Segment 5 answers the question, who is the father of the Indian Constitution? And the answer to this is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. But why Dr. Ambedkar? Because first, he was the chairman of the drafting committee, the most crucial committee of the Constituent Assembly. And second, he had deep expertise in constitutional law and studied legal systems across the world. Thirdly, he ensured strong fundamental rights, equality before law, and the abolition of untouchability. Fourth, he struck a careful balance between individual liberty and state authority. Dr. Ambedkar famously said, "Political democracy cannot last unless there lies at the base of it social democracy." Because of his decisive role in shaping the structure, language, and spirit of the Constitution, he is rightly called the father of the Indian Constitution. In the last segment of today's video, let us understand what does the Constitution actually do. At its core, the Constitution performs three crucial roles. It limits the power of the government, it protects the rights of citizens, and it lays down the duties and responsibilities of the state. It also ensures democracy, equality before law, and rule of law. Governments may change, leaders may come and go, but the Constitution remains supreme. That is why the Supreme Court calls it a living document. So remember, friends, the Indian Constitution is not just a legal text. It is the foundation of Indian democracy. In the next episode, we will decode the preamble, often called the key to understanding the Constitution. If you found this video useful, please like the video and subscribe to the channel and share it with fellow aspirants. See you in the next episode. Till then, goodbye.